Assalamu alaikum and hello dear viewers. The Chinese paramount leader at his prominent position in the Chinese politics and society. Every time when we discuss about the Chinese government, its policies, so we have also to take into mind the status of paramount leader. If we take start from the modern China's establishment, especially after the foundation of the People's Republic of China. So it was Mao Zedong who became paramount leader of China. What is paramount leader? Paramount leader, it is an informal term used for the most important and powerful leader of China. If we see the Mao Zedong's personality, so he was one of the founding members of the Communist Party of China when it was established in 1921, and he was also the General Secretary of the Communist Party of China and the most important leader in the People's Republic of China. That's why he was the first paramount leader in this regard. He was also the chairman of the Central Military Commission of the China, who devises policies and also controls and monitors the activities of the People's Liberation Army. He was the person who not only fought against the occupation of Japan in the Second World War, but also he fought wars with the nationalists, the Chiang Kai-shek party, and later on the Chiang Kai-shek, his followers then fled to Taiwan and established their democratic government, and the mainland China was controlled by the communists, and on 1st October 1949 it was declared as the foundation of the People's Republic of China, socialist and communist government over there. In the second generation, if we see, it was Deng Xiaoping who became very much prominent. He did not hold any office. He was not head of the state or head of the government of China, and even he was not the General Secretary of China, but he was regarded very much important and he was very much respected in Chinese society. He was a reformer and he opened China to the outside world. Also, he was the main personality that he introduced reforms, and also the investment policy of China, good neighborliness policies of China, and the China's outreach to the world, it was done by Deng Xiaoping. Later on, we have Jiang Zemin, and after him, we have Hu Jintao. All of them, they have their own thoughts. So today we'll talk about the Xi Jinping, the current president of People's Republic of China, his personality and his thought, and how much he is powerful. So far, dear viewers, if you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe it. Press the bell icon to be informed with my new interesting video uploads, and also share with your contacts and friends. Mao Zedong, he was very much radical in his thoughts, and he followed the Marxism-Leninism thought. And if you see the history of the People's Republic of China, so we have Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism thoughts. After him, Deng Xiaoping, he presented his own theory, which is called Deng's theory. He also stressed on the four modernization program of China, and he introduced reforms in the Chinese system, especially the economic system. It is called socialism with Chinese characteristics. Later on, Jiang Zemin, he came, and he was followed by then Hu Jintao. These two persons also worked and presented some new ideas, just like the scientific development, the three represents, and the creation of homogeneous society. Now, the current president of PR China, Xi Jinping, he has presented his own ideas, and his ideas became popular, especially after his becoming General Secretary of the Communist Party of China back in November 2012. It is called the Xi's thought, Xi Jinping's thought, and formally it is called Xi Jinping thought, or Chinese on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. Interestingly, his thought and his points now also incorporated into the Constitution of the Communist Party of China after the approval from the 19th People's Congress of the Communist Party of China, which was held in October 2017. So it is third time that any paramount leader thought has been incorporated into the Constitution of the Communist Party of China. First, that was the Mao Zedong thought, then Deng Xiaoping thought, and now the Xi Jinping thought. So it is considered very much important, because if we see Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao, their thoughts are not incorporated. But now the current president of China, paramount leader of China, the General Secretary of the Communist Party of China, Chairman of the Military Commission of China, Mr. Xi Jinping's thought has been incorporated into the Constitution of the Communist Party of China. Actually, he envisaged for a new China, modern China, and he is very much enthusiastic for the China's leadership role as experts, they say, in the world. He has also called the China's dream, just like we have American dream. So he wants China not only to be strong economically, but also to have a political clout in the world. In this regard, he has also initiated the BRI, Belt and Road Initiative program. Before, it was called One Belt, One Road strategy. But the Chinese experts and policymakers, they disagreed with the strategy term, that it demonstrates very, a hardline stance. That's why then it was called One Belt, One Road Initiative. And now, since the last 2-3 years, this name has been changed into BRI, Belt and Road Initiative. He started this program back in September, October 2013, when he was on an official visit to Indonesia and Kazakhstan. There are some 6 corridors in this Belt and Road Initiative, and that is just to cover the ancient Silk routes, not only the land routes but also the maritime Silk routes. So it encompasses about 70 countries of the world. It goes through the Asia Pacific, Central Asia, South Asia, Middle East, Africa, and also Eastern and Central Europe. So it is considered one of the mega projects in the human world history, that it is for the infrastructure development and also for the energy exploration, and to modernize all the transportation links, and to have more Chinese economy renminbi as internationalized and may be in competition with the American dollar. The South China Sea dispute is also now prominent, especially under this presidency of Xi Jinping. If you see the Spratly Islands and also the Senkaku Islands between China and Japan. So the South China Sea dispute, it is a dispute and have claims and counterclaims of various sovereign states, just like China, Taiwan, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam. All these countries, they have claims. So if we see in the last 7-8 years, especially after becoming of the Xi Jinping as General Secretary of Communist Party of China and as head of state, President of the People's Republic of China since 2012 and then since 2013. So the China's policy is now very much strong over there in the South China Sea dispute. Also, if you look to the US-China trade war. So that is this Xi Jinping who is pushing now for the more manufacturing goods towards have more trade relationship with the US, although Trump is criticizing it and opposing the China's economic policies in the world. Like Woodrow Wilson, the American president after the First World War, he presented 14 points. Then the Pakistan's founder, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he also presented 14 points. Same is the case with Mr. Xi Jinping. He has presented his own 14 points. Let's discuss them one by one. The first point is ensuring Communist Party of China leadership over all forms of works in China. It is very much important because Communist Party of China, that is the strongest organ in China, in the society and also in government of China. So it has to ensure the control, the monitoring, supervision of the Communist Party of China on all forms of works in China. There should be no element and no aspect of life which should be beyond the control of Communist Party of China. So it has to just make a strong grip on the Chinese society and also on the Chinese politics and military. Second, the Communist Party of China should take a people-centric approach for the public interest. So that is important when people, they support government machinery, especially in socialist state. If people, common people, public, they support the Communist Party, which is also called the Vanguard Party. So that is important, then that party can establish and can maintain its hold and policy over the public and also over the government. So in history, if we see, especially in the Cultural Revolution, if we see in the Great Leap Forward, so there was confusion between the leadership of Communist Party of China and also between the public, common people of China. But now Mr. Xi Jinping wants to have Communist Party of China in line with the public and common masses of China. Third point is the continuation of comprehensive deepening of reforms. Mr. Xi Jinping want to just continue the reforms started by Deng Xiaoping, then developed further by Jiang Zemin, and then more elaborated by Hu Jintao. So the same continuation points process want to be just continued by Mr. Xi Jinping. Fourth point, adopting new science-based ideas for innovative, coordinated, green, open and shared development. So this is a point towards the sustainable development, also on the agenda of the United Nations, and China is already in consultation with the world leaders and world powers about the industrial development, but with green environment and to protect the world environment, not to have global warming. And the fifth one, following socialism with Chinese characteristics with people is the masters of the country. So the ultimate power should rest with the people. If people, they are happy, it means government, it means state is happy. Sixth is governing China with rule by law. There is no one above the law. Law of China should strictly be followed. It is in the interest of the public and government, both of them. And the seventh part, practice socialist core values including Marxism, communism and socialism with Chinese characteristics. So that's important because China changed its socialism structure, especially under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping. So the same thing now Mr. Xi Jinping want to have the inclusion of Marxism, communism and socialism with Chinese characteristics. Eighth point is improving people's livelihood and well-being is the primary goal of development. So the common people's strategy should be adopted by the Chinese government. Here this point illustrates that the people's livelihood to be improved by each and every mean. Ninth, coexist well with nature with energy conservation and environmental protection policies and contribute to global ecological safety. That is important. Already I talked that in line with the United Nations Charter and agendas of the Sustainable Development Goals. 10th, strengthen the national security of China. It is important because we have seen in recent days protests and a clash between the people and police in Hong Kong because China introduced new security law over there. So the unification of China, the security of China, the all China, Macau, Hong Kong, mainland China, and even in future Taiwan, because mainland China, People's Republic of China considers Taiwan as its province. So this is important and Xi Jinping just endorses it. 11th, the Communist Party of China should have absolute leadership over China's People Liberation Army. It is already under the control of the Communist Party of China. So Xi Jinping wants to have more control of the Communist Party of China over the People's Liberation Army. 12th, promoting the one country, two systems for Hong Kong and Macau with a future of complete national reunification and to follow the One China policy in 1992 consensus for Taiwan. So I have already talked, so there is one China and two systems. I mean, China is there, that is one, but separate systems for Macau and Hong Kong is there, where Beijing want to ensure and just to maintain it. The 13th point is establish a common destiny between Chinese people and other people around the world with a peaceful international environment. Already that is in the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence signed back in 1954, and now China want to have more people to people contact under the cultural diplomacy. Last point is improve party discipline in the Communist Party of China. That is important. The party unity is important for China, and already Xi Jinping has started crack down on the corrupt people, and even some big figures he has arrested and he has punished who are financially corrupt and who used and who misused their power. So the party discipline in Communist Party of China is important for Xi Jinping. So these are the 14 points of Xi Jinping, what he wants to have consolidation and implementation in the Chinese government and also in Chinese society. I hope, dear viewers, you enjoyed the video. Keep watching the channel for more interesting videos. Take care.